So today's Tennessee State Standard should be Tennessee. For expressions and equations, use square root and cube root symbols to represent solutions to equations of the form x squared equals p and x cubed equals p, where p is a positive rational number. Evaluate square roots of small perfect squares and cube roots of small perfect cubes. Know that the square root of 2 is irrational. And don't forget, these are always hanging up on the wall between the Promethean board and the whiteboard. All right, your lesson objective, I am learning to find square roots of perfect squares up to 225 and find cube roots of perfect cubes up to 125. And you need to stop the video and write those down on the top of your notes. All right, the power is the base and exponent combined. 2 to the 4th is the power. The base is the factor or the number being multiplied. So in this case, 2 is being multiplied, and the exponent tells how many times to multiply the base. So 2 to the 4th actually means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. All right, tomorrow you're going to do an activity in class, and you're going to use tiles with your shoulder partner to create squares, and you're going to fill in these perfect squares table on your notes. So that part of your notes you're going to leave blank until in the morning. And then you're also going to work with your partner to use the Unifix cubes to create cubes, and you will fill in the perfect cubes tomorrow during class. All right, your lesson vocabulary. A perfect square is a number that results from multiplying an integer by itself. A square root is a value that can be multiplied by itself to give the original number. A radical symbol is used to represent the non-negative square root of a number. A perfect cube is a number that results from multiplying an integer by itself 3 times, and a cube root is a value that can be multiplied by itself 3 times to give the original number. So you'll need to stop the video and write those words in the blanks on your notes. All right, solve the equation for x. If x squared equals 21, then we want to get just x, so we would have to take the square root of x squared, which means we would also have to take the square root of 121. X equals 11. And because the equation started out as x squared equals 121, this could be positive or negative 11. And you have to have both signs. Same here, the square root, take the square root of both of these. So x would equal positive or negative, and the square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 169 is 13, and you will fill those into your table tomorrow during class. All right, to find the cube root, and note how that's different. There's actually a 3 on the outside of the radical sign. That means cube root. And the cube root of 125 is 5. Cube roots are different, and we'll discuss those later, but with cube roots, your answer is the sign of the original number that's inside the root sign, or the radical sign, sorry. All right, same here. We take the cube root of x cubed and the cube root of 27 over 64. So x equals, the cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of 64 is 4. And it's positive because 27 over 64 is positive. All right, so we're not going to work through this or show our work. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 144 would be plus or minus, positive or negative, 12. X equals positive or negative, square root of 9 is 3, Square root of 49 is 7. X cubed is 8, so x equals 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And x cubed is 64 over 125. X would be, the cube root of 64 is 4, and the cube root of 125 is 5. So x would be equal to 4/5. All right, there is no real square root for the square root of negative 49. I want you to think about that tonight. Write down why you think this is true, and tomorrow you'll talk about that with your shoulder partner, and then we will discuss it in class. And that is the end of our lesson. We will do a foldable tomorrow in class as well.